Week 7.
Still don't have a podcast yet.
We gave it a real try with remembering our cars.
I remembered all of them, every last one of the cars.
I feel like that was a strong episode, a strong showing from the Pod Boys.
Yeah, there was the underlying problem of I can't afford to be buying a new car every week.
That's really
when nostalgia runs out and you have to create something new to feel that long ago feeling about.
Yeah.
I can't afford that many cars.
We got into future cars too, which in retrospect is kind of losing the plot of remembering our cars.
Yeah.
That was a mistake. But we've all made mistakes. Who amongst us has not?
There's nobody casting
Let he
stones
who
down
is
here
without mistakes. You know, that's they say that Jesus never sinned, but mistakes are not sin. Do you think he ever made a mistake?
Maybe a whoopsie.
I feel like getting crucified.
A
bit of a mistake.
As a carpenter, he probably hammered his fingers every now and again.
Jesus always measured twice.
Yeah.
He never, ever screwed that up.
And back then, they didn't have the little bubble in water level technology, so I'd imagine being a carpenter was a lot
Just
more
a lot
difficult.
of eyeballing it.
Yeah.
You know, have you ever seen The Passion of the Christ, the Jim Caviezel vehicle?
Yes, I have.
There's that scene where he invents a table. That's hands down my favorite scene. Is when he's like, "Look, Mary, I've invented the table," and she's like, "Jesus, you are too much. Who would ever use a table?" This is not a bit. That is an actual scene in The Passion of the Christ. It just cuts. He's like being whipped. And then it does a flashback to when he invented the table.
It's weird that it was like over 1,700 more years after that before we got the spinning Jenny. So people are always reaching across that thing.
The spinning Jenny?
Yeah.
Is that different from a lazy Susan?
Oh, wait. I think Lazy Susan is the right one. What is a spinning Jenny? That might be something with cotton. It's another one of those inventions.
Hang on, I'll look it up. I want to see what a spinning Jenny is. It said spinning Jenny Inventor. It's a multi-spindle spinning frame and was one of the key developments in the industrialization of
textiles.
So this is like if you want to invest in like a big building where a bunch of factory workers can burn to death, you gotta invest in a spinning Jenny first. Your triangle shirtwaist's all on fire.
I wonder if when they invented the Lazy Susan, if they're like, shit, spinning Jenny's already taken. What are we gonna call this?
Benjamin Franklin invented the Lazy Susan, and I think it was like a diss on his sister. Like I think his sister's name was Susan. Lazy Susan. Who invented the Lazy Susan?
Did he also invent the dumbwaiter? Was he just dissing all of his family and house staff?
Yeah, okay, it says here that Thomas Edison, also Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, they all invented the Lazy Susan, apparently.
None of them could be bothered to pass the sugar.
Yeah. So apparently it's these things where we just made up stories that all of our old white men invented everything. Anyway, here we are again in search of the perfect podcast. And future generations will probably once we've cemented our place in history as the kings of podcasting, future generations will look back and they'll attribute us with having invented WTF with Mark Maron as well.
Yeah.
And maybe even retroactively we'll get credit for the honeymooners.
Wow.
They'll just be like, there was a
I'll take
podcast called The Honeymooners, you see. It kind of went into an Orson Welles everything. Honeymooners, you see. It's quite simple. So that's the hope, that's the goal.
Yeah.
But we aren't there yet. And the greatest adventure of 1,000,000 miles begins with the first step. And that first step for us is coming up with a podcast that will become the best podcast of all time.
And it's going to happen. I'm trying really hard. I really believe this is going to happen.
It's going to, someday this card table with it's got ants on it because I left some cough drops on it. This will be in a museum. It'll be in the Smithsonian. Or perhaps we'll have our own museum that'll have this, and then...
Can we scoop up the ants and make sure that in the display that it's from this line of ants, like they're all descendants of the ants that are on this table?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll actually we'll save these ants.
It'll be like an ant farm / podcast.
These are the
exhibit.
descendants of the original ants that kept crawling around on the card table.
We feed them only Luden's wild cherry cough drops. That's their sustenance.
The Luden's Corporation would have gone out of business when the all illnesses were cured in the early 22nd century, but
they'll
fortunately
still need to make the Luden's.
They kept making the Luden's cough drops to feed the ants.
People need ant food.
It's just they moved it into the Smithsonian, and they're just manufacturing the cough drops for the ants. I am sipping on a beer and tomato juice, or a V8, like a weirdo. That's
healthy.
That's what I'm doing. That's healthy.
That's a vegetable.
That's exactly right. I usually run to the gas station and get like an energy drink, and then I'll get like a bag of I'll try some weird chips. Yesterday it was Grippo's cheddar cheese and horseradish.
I've had that one. I like it.
It's pretty good. But today I, for some reason, had a craving for tomato juice, and so I bought a couple of bottles of V8.
For me, I do the same thing. It was Irish cream coffee, a Stroop waffle, and some peppered beef jerky.
Yeah, so I didn't feel like I could get the real bold and savory chips to go with a V8. It felt redundant.
Yeah.
So instead I bought a bag of gummy bears, which really canceled out the healthy choice of getting V8 instead of Monster energy drink.
They have a Monster Mule now, a ginger beer one.
What?
Yeah.
That sounds so dangerous. Like, I'm going to put some whiskey in that.
Yeah, they've, ever since they took the energy component out of Four Loko, I feel like the proper energy drink companies are,
they're just making mixers now.
And more. Yeah, Red Bull's the worst about it, but Monster's making a strong.
Introducing the Bang Sour Mash Mix.
Yeah. Oh, God.
It's got egg white in it. I'd drink it. Who am I kidding? So yeah, I for lunch today I had gummy bears and V8. And now my dinner is another V8 because it was $1 cheaper if you bought two, and a beer. So, healthy choices.
Very good.
And then I complain, why am I getting fat? Why am I always out of breath?
Yeah.
Who did this to me? Obama?
It's probably his fault. Sorry if I'm not being real talkative. I've got a pretty bad tummy ache right now.
Oh, no. What have you done?
Oh, I just right before I came over here, I ate a bunch of beef jerky and a Stroop waffle and down to 24-ounce coffee.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. What is a Stroop waffle?
It's a cookie-ish thing. It's like a really soft shortbread waffle cookie that's very, very thinly cut in half, and then they pour caramel, and it makes like a caramel cookie waffle sandwich.
I've never seen this.
Well, when you buy the coffee, they're something like 40 cents cheaper to get those, and they're right next to the coffee cups, so they're Dutch.
They're Dutch. So they're much. That's what I know about Dutch.
And there are 2 of them in a pack, so if somebody wants to go Dutch with you on some Dutch Stroop waffles, go nuts.
Yeah. And if you ain't nuts, you ain't mutts. That's what they say.
They do say that.
All the jokes don't have to be good. All right. Let's just launch into this.
This one's gonna take a little bit of legwork on our part, but I think it'd be pretty good. But this would be like a guest-centric show. I call it "The Apple Flies Far from the Tree," and we would just get.
This is what I say when I make my dead drop to my handler from the KGB. The apple flies far from the tree.
But only at high noon. But we would get a guest on the podcast who's maybe wanting to promote something, either something that they've been working on or some issue that they'd like to bring light to, but we don't tell them that we're going to get their parents to come on too, and then it ends up being we let the parents levy any gripes that they have with their child on this podcast while their child tries to promote whatever issue. It's kind of it's the sort of like gotcha podcasting that I think can get us noticed.
I hate this idea and I love it too. It makes my teeth hurt just thinking about.
I mean, after the first few episodes, people know what's coming probably, so we're gonna have to let them actually promote whatever it is.
Yeah, it'd be like a Tom Green show kind of thing where after a while you just can't do it anymore because everybody's like, "Hey, it's Tom Green," you know. Mm-hmm. He can't dress up like a pizza man and play pranks anymore. He has to. They all go to Japan. That seems to be the thing. If you get all pranked out in the USA, you go prank in Japan. Tom Green did it. The Jackass did it.
I think Eric Andre did one across Europe.
Yeah. Do you think Nathan For You? I feel like I don't know how he'd play in Japan.
I'm not sure.
Cheap Trick. They're another one. They just kept pranking us with dumb shit, and then they went over and did a live album in Japan.
What would Nathan Fielder do live from Budokan?
Just him forcing people to be polite to him awkwardly for 3 hours. What if that is Cheap Trick's thing? Is that was their cheap trick was, hey, these songs are kind of dumb and we dress like we don't think we're rock and roll stars. And they're like, we got them so good. They thought they pranked us.
But also with this podcast, once people start to expect, like they know the parents are coming, they're like, I've been nice to my mom and dad for the past few weeks before this podcast. Like I sent my mom flowers. I talked with my dad about woodworking. They're going to be really nice. It's fine. And then we get their elementary school teacher, and they're never expecting it.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be someone who's disappointed with you.
Just bringing in a rabbi or a boss. Bring somebody's boss in.
Yeah, just really disappointed in the work ethic.
I like this. I like the idea of listening to this podcast, but I hate the idea of being in this podcast.
Well, the thing about being the hosts of this podcast is we can keep our parents far, far away from it.
That's true, as I do with all of my creative endeavors.
But we're probably going to have to meet a lot of people, friends and colleagues, and just people within our social circles, parents, which might be lovely. You know, a lot of people's parents are very nice people.
Yeah.
And I need, sometimes they give you free food, which is great.
Yeah,
so you go into somebody's parents' house and you just, man, I'm hungry. You're probably going to get some food.
There's a famous saying that it's attributed to several different authors, but it's write as if your parents are dead. Pardon me. Write as if.
That tomato juice beer is not sitting.
Bubble.
Well.
I got a bubble up there. Write as if your parents were dead.
Uh-huh.
It's a tip for authors, and I have found it to be incredibly helpful in the creative process, and also to have really fucked up my Christmas letter every year.
Yeah. It's key, like this is right as though your parents have been dead for a while, not like it's not right as if your parents have just died.
Every book in the middle of it. Oh God, no! I just remembered.
Is this why we always have to see the Batman's parents' death scene? Because the writer is just, I am Batmaning that book.
Here's my tip for authors: write as if Batman's parents are dead.
But also as if they died a while ago, and we don't need to be refreshed on it.
God, Jesus, right? Just write as if we all already know that Uncle Ben is dead. I've paid for the ticket. I've walked into the theater. I'm willing to believe that there is a Spider-Man. I don't need to see how it happens every goddamn time. He's got to get bit. You got to spend the first 30 minutes of the movie just leading him around the primrose path to getting bit by the spider. I don't need to see it. Somebody shows up in that suit, I'm just going to assume that they can sling web and wall crawl and they can crack wise at Dr. Octopus. I don't need to see every little detail.
Yeah, that's true.
So anyways, the apple flies far from the tree.
That's an idea.
I think another way we could go with this is maybe the whole dead parents thing. What if we had people on to talk about their creative process, and then did like a morning prank show, like a radio prank where we told them that their parents were dead.
Oh.
Just see how that affects their creative process. Do it like mid show, like, oh, hang on, we're getting a call here. It's the hospital. Your parents are dead. Now, how does this? Now you were talking about your series of children's books about eating healthy.
Yeah, None of this is probably ethical podcasting, but
I mean,
I feel like we're gonna come off
neither
bad
is
in that one.
selling people the fresh ingredient boxes in the mail equally evil, in my opinion. They put everything in a little tiny plastic bag. I could just go buy oregano. I don't need your tiny baggie of oregano.
When I first started hearing those, I thought they were just for shut-ins. But
oh no, they're for people with too much money.
I've never bought them. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it'd be helpful. I mean, my diet is awful. I eat whatever I want, whenever I want.
You're a real.
I'm going on like what 15 or 16 years of like, I don't live with mom and dad. I can eat cookies for breakfast, and like that has not gotten old yet.
You're just eating cookie dough ice cream right out of the tub and watching angels with filthy souls
while in the tub. Yeah,
I'm eating garbage and watching rubbish. Meanwhile, the Wet Bandits are planning their attack, planning to rob your house as if their parents were dead.
We never got to meet Marv and I can't remember Joe Pesci's character's name.
See, I like this idea.
I'd like to meet those parents.
What if there was a movie where it was Kevin's parents getting robbed by Marv and Harry's parents?
There you go.
It's like two old people.
Is it going to be like are we going to do the Back to the Future thing where just like all of your descendants are doomed to follow your arc in life to be exactly...
They all look like you, but with a different wig.
Just like Biff's down through the ages, but it's McAllister's and Harry and Marv's down through the ages.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to see the prehistoric one where Kevin Caveman McAllister is... inventing all of our simple machines.
Cave alone.
It's just like a giant mastodon tusk flying in on a robe.
I apologize if anybody is grossed out by my wheezing laugh. I'm getting over a cough, and every time I laugh, it sounds like I'm trying to cheat at wacky races. like I'm half the dog with Muttley, and half Dom DeLuise, who also made quite a career out of cheating in wacky races with Burt Reynolds.
Yeah,
he was in the Smokey and the Bandit 2, and also in the Cannonball Run.
Yeah, and also was the voice of Tiger in the American Tail series of movies, where he did that exact laugh.
Yeah,
I mean he's done it in several.
Well, he
things,
did. He was the littler dog in All Dogs Go to Heaven, who was friends with the Burt Reynolds dog as well.
Yeah, he was in with Don Bluth. They were.
Yeah.
He was like what's his name from Cheers is to the Pixar movies. Can't make a Don Bluth animated movie without Dom DeLuise.
Are you talking about
Ratzenberger?
John Star Wars Ratzenberger?
Yes.
He's in Star Wars.
Empire Strikes Back, I thought. Is he in the first one?
No, but
okay.
The franchise.
Yeah.
He's the star of the franchise. John Ratzenberger.
Does he have any scenes that aren't like he's wearing a snowsuit? It's on Hoth.
He looks through binoculars. And then I think he gets shot and goes, ah! And then that's the thing about Cheers. Cheers takes place in the Star Wars universe. It's just that's where you go when you die because there's no heaven or hell. Despite what Han Solo says when he goes, I'll see you in hell! Which is a weird thing to say if you don't believe in the Force or Jesus Christ.
That's true, but I mean, I guess it was always a little bit strange that in a galaxy far, far away they were speaking the King's English.
That is true. That, now that you mention it, that movie's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. Or maybe I guess they could be saying, since it was a long time ago as well, that there were possibly these are the aliens that helped us build the pyramids and such. Maybe Lucas, before it left his hands, had some very big plans to say that this is not fictional, but in fact historical.
Do you think? Well, here's my problem with this. I've spoken on this before, not on this podcast, but in other places. So in E.T. recognizes Yoda when the child is dressed like Yoda. Mm-hmm. E.T. says, home, home, when he sees Yoda. But also, Elliot plays with the Star Wars action figures. So the Star Wars movies exist in the E.T. universe, but then the Star Wars universe also exists in the E.T. universe, which is also reinforced in the Star Wars movies when you see E.T. in the Galactic Senate. Or it's actually Grebleeps is the alien's name. And he's the same alien. He's like he's thousands of years old. So that means that if the Star Wars movies exist in the E.T. universe, then George Lucas exists in the E.T. universe, which exists in this. So George Lucas exists as the creator of Star Wars in the Star Wars universe. He's a god. He's a god made flesh, just like Christ.
Shit.
But
I thought Stephen King was the only person to do that shit, but George Lucas beat him. Well, didn't beat him to it. Retroactively.
There's also there's the hieroglyphs in Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
C-3PO
and R2-D2, which means that God, the one true God, Yahweh, God of Isaac, and Jacob, exists in the Star Wars universe.
So all of modern civilization is thanks to George Lucas' creative genius?
Somehow created. He's like a creator god who has come down to Earth and retold his story.
Wow. Man, I hate it when George Lucas gets that much credit.
God.
That sucks. Well, do you have an idea?
I do have an idea. Now, this first idea is called Weekly Reviews and Review. Now, this is a people like review podcasts. You get a movies roundup or maybe a book review. Those are you hear those a lot.
Yeah,
music reviews.
It takes a long time to read a book.
Yeah,
I don't want to waste my time.
I'll just listen to the review and then pass those opinions off as if they were my own.
Get credit. You can still add it to your book and get a pizza.
That's I do that all the time. I listen to NPR, all things considered, and then I go into Pizza Hut and I try and get a free pizza based on my pilfered opinions on.
They don't ask too many questions,
Yeah,
they believe you. They want to believe you.
Just like I'm looking back now on the legacy of Henry Kissinger. It's safe to say that perhaps he will not be remembered as fondly as he was. Anyway, can I get the free pizza now?
Yeah. Shut up and eat. I don't want to hear about this.
God damn, let's do that. Let's just start Book It, but for other things. Just hold people's feet to the fire to be adults.
And reward them with childish rewards.
Child pizza for anybody who does something that's not. All right. First up, I will give a personal pan pizza to anyone who signs a contract, a legally binding contract, to stop reading children's books. If you'll promise to not read Harry Potter as an adult, hell, I'll buy you a pizza every month. You can have 2 toppings.
2?
Pick your 2.
I'm going to go with pepperoni and double pepperoni.
You panicked.
Double peps.
Double pep. Oh, you ever double pep a pizza? It gets a little rough. It's more than you bargain for. You think that's going to be good. You're like, I could use more pepperoni.
No, it sounds horrible to me. I really wouldn't order that. I'd probably get black olives and maybe chicken.
Black olives and chicken.
Just something that's going to be a little easier on my stomach right now. Cause
you're still thinking about that Stroop waffle.
Well, that was probably not the problem. I think it was the peppered beef jerky and the 24-ounce coffee.
You have outdone me on bad choices. So yeah, this is reviews, weekly reviews and review. This would be a podcast where we review other reviews.
Okay.
So we could go on Amazon Prime and we could take a look at what people are saying about the newest bathroom scale or maybe luggage, and then we could share our takes on other people's takes on these products.
Okay, I can do that.
Just go through.
Now, would we consume the product beforehand, or is this a blind?
This is
Are we just seriously reviewing the quality of the review of something like I have no idea of the product, or is it this guy doesn't know what he's talking about? That movie was great.
I mean, in much the same way that one is expected to review a Quentin Tarantino film. You don't review all of the films that he has just cobbled his film from. You're just reviewing the review.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to go take a look at what we got on Amazon Prime here. I think the best way to do this would be to go to the Amazon giveaways, because those are always fun products that you'd never think to buy. All right. Here we go. All right. So would you rather review a ab stimulator machine or a some sort of brain vitamins?
Brain vitamins,
Brain
please.
vitamins. Okay, here we go.
I've been really thinking about getting some more brain vitamins because I think that it will help me have nicer thoughts.
All right, so I guess we're not reviewing the product itself.
Oh yeah. Well, I've never had brain vitamins.
Well, it says okay, so it's caffeine-free, gluten-free. I'm just going to give you some bullet points here.
Okay.
I'm not going to say the name, but I will say that it says that it hacks your brain, and it gives focus, memory, clarity, and energy. It's a non-stimulant made in the USA. Oh wow, yeah, okay. They're boy, they are really made in the USA here. This page's got an eagle and a flag and a fighter pilot.
I'm already terrified because the idea of having my brain hacked is very scary. Like, that's a whole nother level of identity theft.
All right, so here we go. Now we're into the reviews.
See if it sets my mind at ease.
All right, so here. First off, this review says, working a full-time job and owning my own business definitely calls for long nights and early mornings. A friend of mine recently introduced me to beep, and honestly, I wish I'd have known about it sooner. I get the mental clarity and energy I need without the crash of a caffeine boost. Highly recommended. And that's 5 stars, and this person's included a picture of a bottle of the vitamins surrounded by several 500 milliliter water bottles for some reason.
So this motherfucker works for the company.
It
right?
really, I mean, honestly, without any, there's no before and after really to this. It's just like, wow, this is great. I wish I'd known sooner.
I mean, I don't know why this person is shilling, but that is not a review. That is propaganda.
That I'm not convinced by this. This seems, honestly, like
that's an insult of a review.
I think
that's a glob of spit in the face of reviewdom.
All right, so I think maybe my mistake was clicking on a 5-star review. All right, so here, let's try a 4-star. This one is from Tiago P., who writes, could be placebo. Trying another bottle to be sure. All right, so right off the bat, this also seems like it's someone from the company. They're like, oh, the first one doesn't work. Buy another one just to make sure.
Well, it might just be a dumb person, too. He gave 4 stars to something that he said could be a placebo and says he's buying it again.
Yeah. Says that
this person, my heart goes out to Tiago. I think that this is a little more of an honest review, but like a reviewer who really needs brain vitamins and isn't getting them.
Yeah, they're dying. They're just dying for those brain vitamins. Here's a 3-star review. It says, honestly, this is from Robert Boyd. 3 stars. Triple exclamations. Honestly, I'm decisive. Can't tell. Kind of feel a little bit different. Nothing really abnormally felt. So it seems like in this case, his brain is being melted by the vitamins.
Yeah.
Seems like, here's another, this one's from Aziz, who writes, good but not effective, 50% improvement.
That review leaves me with more questions than answers. I don't know if we're going to hit a good one.
And then he also adds, under good but not effective, that was the header, underneath the body of the review, good but not effective, 50% improvement, L. There's an L.
Is it possible that if someone is a big consumer and like very familiar with the brain vitamin market, that review is going to answer every question that they have? Because good but not effective is
like, does it have a flavor?
Like, is there some place you're trying to get to with your brain vitamins that? Yeah, maybe they're just like cherry chewables or something.
So the good but not effective, 50% improvement, and then he adds to that statement, compared to the other product I tried before that one. So okay. I'm guessing that one is the one that he's reviewing.
Sounds like he should just take 2 brain
vitamins.
That
would be this one. If he just doubled the dosage.
Take 2 brain vitamins and call me in the morning.
100% improvement. Yeah, maybe that's the biggest hurdle, is that if you don't take 2, you're not smart enough to think to just double the dose. Here's one that says, this is from Jess Rodna, 3 stars. It helped me reactivate.
This is a 2-star review?
This is a 3-star.
3-star review.
3 stars. So I guess that wasn't what Jess Rodna was looking for in a brain vitamin.
He got reactivated, but there are some syntax errors, or
it helped me reactivate. This is actually Bizarro Superman. What me trying to get from brain vitamin? It helped me reactivate. That's only a 3-star. Apparently, wasn't enough.
Another review that is just assuming I know what the crazy high that brain vitamins give you to is like there is some destination that one expects to get to when they purchase brain vitamins, and these guys are getting part of the way there, but they aren't.
Yeah. It's getting you.
I got no frame of reference for it.
Yeah, these brain vitamins are like you're getting a good speed taxiing down the runway, but you're not taking off. You're like one of those old timey flying machines that just kind of like flops off the end of a tall rock at the end of the video. But Jess Rodna adds, I was feeling fatigue, and I helped me reactivate.
It sounds like he's still experiencing some fatigue, so I'm trying to decide if I should take into account the first review. Like, I almost want to review the body of reviews for this product. And
yeah.
I do feel like at the end of the day, taken all together, I've got a pretty good snapshot that I don't want to buy these brain vitamins. I think that they pretty effectively told me that. So it takes, many hands make for a light load. And even though all of these reviews have giant flaws, when taken together, nice job, guys.
All right, well, here's now we're going to go to the segment called Dissenting Opinions. This is all 1-star reviews.
Oh, okay.
Hello, welcome to Dissenting Opinions. This is where we read the 1-star reviews. Here's a 1-star review for these for these brain vitamins. It says, tried this product, 1 star, does not work at all, made me mentally slower. I expected it to give me at least some cognitive advantage, but may have actually made me mentally slower. Horrible product, do not buy, and waste your money. All right, so first of all, if it made you slower, it does work. It's just not having the effect you want. Right? It does not work at all. Made me mentally slower.
Okay.
2 different statements.
Yes.
At opposition with each other. You cannot say it does not work at all and it made you mentally slower. I drink a lot of alcohol and I'm not like, this alcohol doesn't work. It made me mentally slower. It is making me mentally slower. That is the intended effect of alcohol.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll buy some of these brain vitamins.
Yeah.
I'm going to get fucked up.
Do you think that it makes your head grow like Ken Griffey Jr. in the Simpsons softball episode?
I would love. All right, here's another 1-star review. This one's from Jose Valle. It says, nothing. For me, doesn't work. I felt more strong the Costco sell. So... apparently, Costco has some shit that makes you feel strong.
I'm worried that the Podtron is writing these reviews.
These are getting pretty. Another
I think that we might have a Skynet situation going on with the Podtron. We might need to look into that a little bit later.
Also, going back to the made me mentally slower one, the final statement was, do not buy and waste your money. Which could be taken 2 different ways. It's like, don't buy these. Go waste your money. Go take whatever you were going to spend on brain vitamins and go bet on the dogs. You know, go down to the racetrack.
Yeah, those Pokemon cards aren't going to buy themselves.
And then here's the final 1-star review. Hang on, I got 2. There's another one here. This one is from Amazon customer. And it says, not for everyone. I'm sure it's effective for others. Didn't do anything for me. 1 star. So this is a person who gives it 1 star, but has faith that the product is effective for other people.
That makes me really sad, because that's just a person saying, my brain's broken.
I believe in these brain vitamins. I think that they do a thing. Just, I guess I'm the kind of person that's immune to brain vitamins.
I guess I got a bad brain. Not surprised.
And then here's one final one. This comes from Antonio. And it reads, poop. 1 star. And this is a verified purchase. And then his review, poop.
Poop is my favorite palindrome.
Poop is my favorite color. Do you have another podcast?
Yeah. Let's see. I've got, and this is another idea that's trying to hook up to a secondary revenue stream. Got to get that money. Podclass. It is the audio substitute teacher. Stop hiring human subs and just play a podcast for the kids. We're going to go through, get the core curriculum for all of these classes, and make targeted podcasts that are going to teach these kids when their real teachers are sick. And then eventually replace their real teachers.
Okay. So this is
teachers are on strike.
Podclass.
Podclass will take care of it. That'll do for them. That'll do for the kids.
Yeah, this might be the nexus of our podcast ideas and business ideas problem.
It's kind of like
it's
the
like
Venture
we've turned
Brothers beds that teach them, but in real life. Sorry, I'm getting too excited.
All right, so would we have to bring in teachers to do this, or would we just kind of grease the right palms and maybe get the laws tweaked a little bit so that we wouldn't have to go back to school to become educators? We could just we'll just talk to Betsy.
I think we
See
maybe get one teacher on the payroll
clear the
and
path
get them
for
to
us.
sign off for us.
Ah, yeah.
Just like rubber stamp this thing.
That is exactly how we would need to do it. And what kind of classes would we have?
Well, I want to get the foot in the door and probably just try to actually go with whatever the core curriculum is for this year, but
TV VCR repair.
I was thinking mostly like the American history series would be pretty easy to make. Maybe some world civ. I'm not really sure how the math classes will work yet, but I'll probably just fart that one out because that's not as important as world civ. English, I mean, we're just going to have to read, that's just audio books.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm not planning on having real high standards. It's more of a convenience thing than a quality thing here.
Okay.
If what you're getting is a home-cooked meal from a teacher, I'd strive to, Podclass is going to be like the microwave burrito and clam beer of education, or clamato beer, excuse me.
I mean that you just described my breakfast and my dinner. So, I mean, it sounds like maybe I'm going back to school. I'm going to Podclass.
Yeah, and we could probably also remake Billy Madison, and he could graduate even faster from all of the grades because he'll just have to listen to a bunch of podcasts.
All right, I got another one.
You got
here.
one? All right.
Hang on, I wanted to think of what my course that I could teach in Podclass would be, and I think that it would be ways to try and get stuff for free or abusing the Best Buy return policy.
Now here's that's some good information that people need, but we're gonna have to call that class something like Physics 1. And then, like, you're going to have to say some stuff about physics for about 5 minutes, and then you can just start saying whatever you want. Like,
well, it could be like it could be like an economics class.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, do you ever notice that there's a survey on the back of the Wendy's receipt, and if you fill it out, then you get a free meal, but they give you a receipt when you get the free meal.
They do it at rallies too.
Yeah, and then you can just keep doing that over and over. Yeah, so I'd be teaching economics, and it would just be shit like that. How to be like a real cheapskate.
I like that.
You ever notice that they put the number of calories on the food in the vending machine on the front of the package? So you can look at that and be like, oh, well, peanuts have the most calories of anything in this vending machine. That's what I'll eat today. That'll give me the energy I need to keep toiling away my go nowhere job.
Yep.
75 cents and I'm good to go.
What are some bad choices in the vending machine as far as, survival? I mean, gum for one. Don't ever get the gum.
You know what? There's a vending
Breath
machine
mints.
near where I work that actually has brown sugar Pop-Tarts, and I think that is the highest calorie thing.
Those are good with
I'm
coffee,
not proud,
too.
but I've definitely been like, I'm kind of hungry, and I don't have time to eat a full meal. I'm just gonna look at a McChicken. Your body can run on McChicken alone.
I'm living proof of that.
It's got mayo. It's got the breading.
I've also, in my adulthood, eaten more Lunchables than I did as a child. What the fuck's wrong with me? Parents would never buy them for me, but now they're in the vending machine, and I just...
You're like, oh well, yeah. You're like Michael Jackson. Like, it's the childhood you never got to have. Luring little boys into your apartment with Lunchables.
I have always had like a Peter Pan thing, but I try to downplay it.
Well, the peanut butter.
Love that peanut butter.
That's what your mom. You had to have the Peter Pan thing because she wouldn't buy you Lunchables.
Just wanted to grow up to be just like my hero, Mary Martin.
All right, so here's my next idea is called Stupid Lottery.
Okay, I love the title.
So here's how this would work. We would basically be doing a lottery, and there's gonna be some like legal hurdles.
Is this like a money lottery or like a Shirley Jackson lottery?
Like a money lottery.
Okay.
It could be both.
Okay. Well, I'm keep going.
But okay, so here's how this would work. You know how the normal lottery is it's surprisingly confusing for something that is supposed to be for the dumbest people on earth. It's a tax for the stupid and poor. Mm-hmm. But then...
And me.
Yeah. And then, like, the first time the Powerball was like $1 billion, I was like, well, maybe I'll play the lottery. I'll just spend a couple of bucks, and then I get to think about what I would do if I became a rich person. But for the life of me, it was difficult to figure out how all those numbers work. They're like, well, this one's the bonus ball. And I was like, bonus ball? Just fucking, how about this? We all put our names in a hat.
Oh.
That's what the stupid lottery is. Here's how it works. Everybody, all of the listeners would just give us $1, right? So we'd go to our Patreon, right? Go to our Patreon, and we would change it from the access to the vault. Then the stupid lottery would be every week. Everyone, pays their $1 to be one of our premium subscribers, and then we have a podcast where we just have the bingo ball thing going, but there's only 10 numbers. So you pick a number from 1 to 10, and then we the ball drops out, and it's not like 5, 17, 23, and the multiplier bonus ball, the red ball. No, it's just one ball comes out, and it's like 8. And if you picked 8, then you won the stupid lottery.
Okay, so say we have 8 or 10 million people enter this, we're going to have 1 million people who've won the stupid lottery.
Right. So it would be
So would they get
they'd each get $10.
Yeah.
So you put in $1, you get 10. 1 million people get $10.
At first when you started
Think
talking
about it though. Like if you it's like that. It's like the trivia. What's that trivia app?
I know what you're talking about.
It was real hot for a minute.
Yeah. Man, I played it a bunch. I can't even remember what
But
it's
it's
called
like
now.
there was like a $10,000 prize, but it would
Yeah.
get split like 6,000 ways. So you'd be like, I won, but you get 30 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. Like if you could play a lottery game where once a week you paid $1, but then like you had a 1 in 10 chance of winning like $10. And we had
I
like,
love that idea.
we could have like a chicken pick it out one week. Like we'd do a different thing where we pick out the number a different way.
Where my mind went, because at first you said put your name in a hat, and I was thinking, what if instead of any numbers at all, we just flip a Brown Derby restaurant upside down and put a slip with every single person's name on it and just fish one out?
This is actually a pretty good idea, I think.
But I like the idea of teaching people how math and money works. But I don't think that 10% of everyone getting a... Also, we're going to work those percentages so we get a cut, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We get a cut. We take a cut, but then like a bunch of people all win like $12.
Can we have like
It'd
random...
still be worth it. That's like go out and you get a couple of beers money.
That's true.
Yeah. And you play every week. It costs you $1. Maybe, every couple of weeks you win.
Are we gonna use the U.S. Postal Service to send people their winnings?
No, here's the really brilliant part. We'll do the Venmo trick, right?
Oh, okay.
Where we hold all of their money in escrow, right? So like you sign up for the stupid lottery, you get $1 credit. First one's on us, right? So you win with that first $1. We're like, you can just keep it in this account. That way, you got $10 in here. You can just keep playing off of that money. That's house money. But the whole time that their fucking dollar is in our fake bank account in the internet, it's in a real bank account earning us interest.
Can we set like a minimum reserve for them to get cash out of like $11?
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay.
This is actually a really good idea. All right. Let's go. Let's go real quick to audience, listener submitted ideas. Secretly, the reviews and review, that was also a listener submitted one, but it was my girlfriend, and I just stole it and put it in my notes. Thank you for that. Sean writes in, "For Who the Bell Tolls, a podcast where bells toll and you argue which one of you is tolling for." For points.
I'm a big fan of bells. Now I'm wondering, is this going to be a small bell? Because if we get like a church bell down here, that's going to be too loud, and I'm not going to care who it's for.
Okay, this was submitted via our Facebook group, and it showed that it had been edited, and I just went to check and see what the edit was. I thought maybe he added the points thing to try and make it seem like more of a thing that we could do. No, he accidentally wrote rolling instead of tolling. So we could roll the bell, too. I'm sorry, what were you asking?
Oh, what size bell are we going to use? So, like, are we talking like a little tinkling Christmas-style bell? Or
We could have a guest bell every week.
Okay.
We could get Lake Bell.
Is she just going to say, bong?
I mean, anything she says in that voice. Ugh.
Yeah.
Got a great voice. Great set of pipes on that dame. So, I mean, this one I think pretty much, he laid it all out for us. We don't have to. Are you having misgivings about...
I'm wondering, like, who's going to ring the bell? Like, are we going to be in, like, a soundproof booth, sort of? Or not soundproof, but vision? Like, are we going to have to put on a blindfold so we can't see who would be ringing the bell, so we wouldn't have any tip-off on who that bell rings for?
That's a good question. How do we determine who the bell is ringing for?
Because bells are not sentient. it takes.
Last time I checked.
It takes like somebody to ring that bell, and if I can see who's doing it, I think I'll have too much of a hint on their intent. So I think we're gonna have to have like a bell booth or some sort of like
a curtain set up, like mystery date.
Okay.
So it's like we just hear a bell, and then we 1, 2, 3 shoot, guess who the bell is tolling for, and then the curtain opens, and it's like, oh, it's your mom. She's like, dinner's ready. Or, it opens up, oh, it's the Grim Reaper. It's for you. Yeah, so that's something to think about. We'll have to...
I think that
I think I have the I
want to watch that TV show, actually. I think that's a good game show.
Yeah.
But I mean, I want to see these wonderful bells that we'd be getting.
Yeah, I feel like this one we would have to do as like a Twitch stream.
Okay. I'm down for that. That's a good idea.
Get it on there so people can see, what you're going to book Death and then not have him on the show. He doesn't talk. He just points at people.
Yeah.
Hey, Death. 4 bony fingers pointing right back at you, homie. Didn't think about that, did you? Showed his ass. Bony ass. Death. Look at this mayo ass. Bony ass.
Ripping Death a new
Grim
asshole.
Reaper.
You can tell Death hasn't been taking his brain vitamins.
Taking Death down a peg here. I will never die. Canceled. All right. So now I think we, at this point in the show, normally we're done. We've been going for an hour, but we still haven't asked the Podtron what it thinks.
All right.
We'll just do one Podtron, I think. What do you think?
That sounds fine. I think the Podtron is maybe in need of some tinkering because I think it was writing some of those reviews and it's getting a little bit wilder with its podcast suggestions lately.
Yeah. Yeah, I think yeah. All right.
It's still an amazing machine. I don't want to insult you or it because it might be a new overlord soon.
Truly. All right. I want to point out that sometimes the Podtron makes things that just sound so real that it's hard to believe they aren't really shows that exist. Like, there's this one called the Gretchen Roos Good Life Kit.
Oh, yeah.
I could totally believe that that's an actual podcast that exists. But then it also wants us to do a podcast called Science. Just science.
Is there a little Thomas Dolby in the Podtron?
Science. He's out there writing the soundtrack to Howard the Duck. Did you know that Thomas Dolby wrote that Howard the Duck soundtrack?
I did not. And it's
fucking great.
It's been so long since I've seen Howard the Duck, I can't remember what it sounds like.
It's Howard the Duck and Leah Thompson co-wrote the songs in Howard the Duck. Wait, did I say Howard the Duck?
Yeah. You mean Thomas Dolby?
Well, in the story, it was Howard the Duck and Leah Thompson's character. But, yeah, Thomas Dolby. Hunger City. Go look it up, kids. It's a bop, as you like to say. All right. Right off the bat, I see one that is just jumping out to me.
What is that?
It is called the Goodplus Grownups Realestartist with Michael Knock.
That's a lot. That is a lot.
So what I picture this as is, well, you know how folks our age are all about adulting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Goodplus Grownups Realestartist, that's definitely going to be some adulting podcast.
Okay.
It's about, Good Plus. Well, that might be like a 1984 reference there. It's like a double plus good. But then Grownups, I want to believe, is just about doing things that you're supposed to do when you're a grown-up and not the film franchise Grownups. And then Realestartist. That's it's spelled like real estate, but then it goes into artist. So I'm guessing that Michael Knock is going to have to be an expert on how to get into real estate. What does escrow mean? I don't know. I think I used it earlier in this podcast. I was bluffing. I don't know what escrow is. I've owned a house. They were like, "You're an escrow." I was like, "Fucking all right."
Is Michael Knock a real person?
Hang on.
Because I'm just wondering, like,
are we going to have to hire him?
I like the idea of hiring this Michael Knock and for him to start the show off with, "Knock, knock, I'm Michael Knock."
Whoops. Sorry, I went to look up Michael Knock and it made the boo sound again.
Knock, knock, I'm Michael Knock.
Boo. All right, let's see. Michael Knock.
If it is, it's a very good. Like I could almost. It could be a Monty
There
Python
is a
character.
Professor Michael Knock at Clark University in Iowa. This is the first thing that comes up, but it seems like the most famous Michael Knock is a journalist. Wait, it's the same Michael Knock. Oh my God, he writes for the Iowa Citizen. The Iowa City Press Citizen.
Iowa City.
Iowa City. Is that in Iowa? Oh God.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I wonder what university is there?
That would be. Hang on.
Because that is not one of the first Iowa cities I think of, and I can't think of too many of them.
Clark University.
Okay.
But hang on, he's written some stuff for this newspaper here, and I'm trying to look at it, but apparently Iowa City Press Citizen has a pretty high opinion of the value of their articles because they are forcing me to pause ad blocker so that I have to look at the ads because I'm so horny for their content that I won't just go find it on the AP Newswire. But in this particular case, they have my number. I can't find this particular article from Michael Knock. It says Michael Knock has some advice on the art of pie crust creation.
So that's a thing that I think of as adulting that I don't know how to do. I've never created a pie crust. I've always just bought mine pre-made at the store. How do you get it to stand up like that?
Here is the article. The delicate art of pie crust creation. Those are the opening lines to the song Yesterday When I Was Mad by the Pet Shop Boys. The London-based synth-pop duo, Wikipedia's words, not mine, is known for its cool techno beats and humorous lyrics. Yesterday is no exception. Fuck off, Michael Knock. We are not letting him have our podcast.
You can't. Yeah, he can't be my role model.
He's gonna cite the Pet Shop Boys.
Just because I like your name doesn't mean I want you to make me a mixtape, Michael Knock.
Ooh, goddamn! I'm so glad that I disabled ad blocks so that I could get this fucking animated banner ad for Cowboys Gentlemen's Club in Lexington, Kentucky.
Well, go ahead.
Now it's changed. Now it's a Panic at the Disco song.
Go ahead and put ad block back on and also put Michael Knock block on.
I'm block and knock.
All right, moving on. I swear that the Podtron is, I don't know, I don't want to associate any certain disease or anything, but there's something in its mind that is broken, and Scary Word Knows 48 House of Black the Next Door is a suggestion it's given us this week.
Scary what?
Scary Word Knows 48 House of Black the Next Door, which sounds like something a quarterback might shout out when he's calling an audible, but like a spooky quarterback who paints his fingernails black, and
he's got those bony hands.
Yeah. There
He's
should.
like,
I'm just realizing they
Boo,
never do classic
42.
monsters football cartoon.
Boo, 42.
Yeah.
Ooh, imagine if you had all the Universal monsters on one football team together. Who's the quarterback? Frankenstein?
I feel like Frankenstein would be like a left tackle or a defensive tackle.
He's a big guy.
Yeah.
But he also, he's kind of a brainy character. Look at Peyton Manning. If that ain't a Frankenstein, I don't know what it is.
We've got, I think that maybe back in the 1950s and 60s, we might have thought a quarterback had to be a Frankenstein. That maybe Wolfman and creatures from the Black Lagoon were maybe not smart enough to play quarterback, but in this day and age, I think that all monsters are get their shot to play quarterback.
Yeah.
Not just ones that are created from the body parts of dead white men.
What about a Dracula?
His ability to turn into a bat and fly, I think that a Dracula would be a wonderful wide receiver, because who knows where he's going to pop back in. Our quarterback knows. So he can throw the ball to where that bat's going, and then he can just pop in and catch the ball. Like transmogrify himself back into a...
You got the creature from the Black Lagoon.
But he can only play night games is the problem.
Dracula.
Or like
dome.
I guess you could put him on your team if you have a dome.
If you have a dome, Dracula can come out. Otherwise, you're going to have to get Blade on your team. And that's a whole nother extended universe. You got the Mummy.
Who is just useless.
He's a towel boy, let's be honest.
Yeah, the only thing he brings to the table is his curse, and he can do that from the sidelines. Give that mummy a clipboard.
Yeah. Just the mummy's
yeah,
got
he's the backup quarterback.
He's got the Motorola headset on. He's walking. Maybe the mummy is the guy who pulls the coach in so he doesn't get run over by... have you seen that where they have the guy now who just like spots the coach and like pulls him in so that the coach can walk around without looking at where he is?
So there's a guy whose job it is to just let the coach baby's day out himself into danger. Like,
have you seriously not seen this?
No.
It's amazing. There's all these videos of it. It's just a guy who just follows the coach around, like walks right behind him, and anytime that someone is like running up and about to crash into the coach, he just pulls the coach back, like just grabs him like a baby wandering into traffic and pulls him back.
Are all of these coaches just too cool to wear a harness with a leash attached to it? Because that would make like that guy could do something else.
They could just put him on a rope, but they figure out pretty quick. The coaches are, they're smart. They can figure out if they just run in a circle, it unscrews the stake. Then you got to put up signs all over town. Have you seen this coach? He likes to wear a hat.
Hopefully, you've had that coach for a while and you have some good pictures of him, because you might just have to write a description if you just got him.
You don't ever think about the fact that you don't have pictures of your coach until you're having to put up signs around town. Missing coach signs. Cash reward. And half the time, these coaches get stolen just so that people can wait until there's a cash reward. And then you gotta... You're getting extorted by these coach thieves.
Sometimes you just lose faith in humanity. Who would steal a coach?
It's probably the biggest problem in the NFL right now. All these fake lost coaches.
And so many of them out there, too, looking for a good home.
Even if you legitimately lose your coach, people will just paint a random coach to try and make it look like your coach. They'll be like, yeah, that's your coach. He's got that spot.
Yeah.
He's got those liver spots.
Mm-hmm.
I swear this is your coach. Pay up. It's just a nude man that they've painted a Cowboys jersey onto.
It would be somebody out of a gangster movie who would kidnap your football coach. Hey there, Mac. This is your coach.
He keeps calling everybody Mac.
Yeah.
Hey, shut up, Mac. Now pay me for your coach.
Or possibly one of the Three Stooges.
It's like, shut up, porcupine.
All right, hush up, you knuckleheads. I'm going to go extort this fella for his football coach.
All right, so here's the rundown of what we got this week. We got the apple flies far from the tree. We have weekly reviews and review, Podclass, stupid lottery. The one we're not doing with it, Michael Knock. And Scary Word knows 48 hours of the next door. That's our monster football league. All right, so which one of these are we gonna give a shot?
I really love the idiot lottery one, but I don't know how that's gonna work as a show, especially since we haven't gotten anybody to enter our idiot lottery yet.
If you'd like us to try the stupid lottery, write into the show, and if we get enough interest,
send $1.
We'll do that one in the future. Send us, sign up for the Patreon. We know what we should do is we were talking about this earlier. Is on Patreon you can set like goals. Where, like, if you get to a certain amount of subscribers or a certain amount of money raised, then you can, then we'll start doing this. And we had talked about if we get to $5,000, we would go on a Bigfoot hunting expedition with Jose Canseco, which is a thing you can actually purchase. But we could also do one where, let's say we get to 100 subscribers. When we get there, we'll hold a stupid lottery. We'll just put that in.
Okay.
So that'll be a goal. Once we get to 100 subscribers, we will do a stupid lottery, where anybody who is a subscriber gets to pick a number, and then there will be a cash prize. But we'll have to make up some sort of dumb shit so that we don't go to jail for doing a lottery. Right now, I feel like I really like the reviews in review. And I also really like the Scary Word knows 48 house the block the next door.
Well, I do always want to talk about monsters, but possibly we could do the review of reviews show. We could review something monster related in that, and that could satiate that urge.
This episode is going to come out directly after Halloween, so it'll be great. Everyone will be so sick.
People are gonna
so sick of Halloween, and then we'll be like, it's time for monster reviews.
Well, we can proactively be like, this could possibly be what's a monster's place after its special time is gone. You know.
Yeah.
People always, nobody likes to think about what Santa Claus is doing all year long. They just want their presents. And
he's surfing.
What do these monsters do during the off season?
Off-season monster.
Maybe they play some football.
Well, we know that they have a party together.
Yeah, they're probably all hungover when this podcast comes out, so they probably aren't even going to be listening.
It's you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, these movie monsters sounds like they're in college. Football games, big parties where everybody's dancing. Mm-hmm. They're pledging to their fraternities and sororities.
For the first time ever, meeting other types of monsters and, like walking a mile in their shoes and becoming better monsters.
Yeah, like, you know what? I was raised in a small village, and honestly, I'd never thought about what it would be like to be a wolf man. I just assumed that other Frankensteins like me.
Yep. And you might find out that your new roommate, he's used to mobs that carry pitchforks, while you're more of a torch mob guy. But, it doesn't keep you from bonding and understanding each other.
Yeah. All right. So, if you're a Patreon supporter, you can head over to the Vault at patreon.com/we don't have a podcast yet. If you go to the overview tab at the top, you can see in the upper right-hand corner, there is, if you're a subscriber, there is a custom RSS feed. Copy that and paste it into your podcast listening device of choice, and then you'll get access to the Vault every week. This week it'll be weekly reviews and review the Spooky Monster Edition.
Yeah.
So, Thanks for listening. Shout out to David from San Francisco, who's written into the show again to say that he's going to be writing us a theme song because he's so mad that we don't have any kind of a theme song.
Theme song for what? Like, I hope he's ready to possibly write more than one theme song.
Some kind of a meta joke he's trying to play.
I don't know. We don't have a podcast yet.
Yeah.
That's...
What, are you going to just make a song about that?
I guess so.
All right.
It makes me feel bad. I don't like to rush things, all in due time. Ugly duckling gets the worm.
Well, thanks to all of our fans on Facebook and Instagram and Patreon, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.